river is really starting to take on its winter personality. We've got cooler water temps, colder nights, colder days, less sun, more fog. Stripers are still rolling into the system. The largemouth bass are slowing down. What can I say? It's wintertime, and that's what happens here on the California Delta. So with that, let's take a look at a few pictures, then we'll get into the report. Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. You're watching In Deep on the Delta. This is the weekly fishing report for Thanksgiving Day, November 27th. And it'll be a condensed report. We'll try to get you guys back to your Thanksgiving Day festivities as quick as we can. But I know a lot of you guys like to go out day after Thanksgiving or Thanksgiving weekend. So we'll really concentrate on the California Delta, get you guys caught up on what's going out there. As far as Clear Lake goes, it's been tough up there. I didn't call Dave up at Clear Lake Outdoors. We're giving him a break, let him spend a little time with his family. But I did talk to Christian Ostrander. Christian had been up there for a couple of days last week, and he reported the fishing was very tough. And when I hear that from Christian Ostrander, probably tells me I don't want to be the guy up there that's going to go up and try to crack the code. So it's been tough up there. I do want to say one thing about one of my subscribers, Ken Croy. He was up fishing, and he also reported slow bass fishing, but I got a picture of Ken with a 15-pound catfish. And what saved Ken's day up there, he had 6 consecutive casts. He had a 10, a 12, a 15.3, 15.6, and a 16.4 pound catfish on 6 consecutive casts. So those might not be bass, but I guarantee you if you do that, you've probably had a pretty fun day. So thanks for that report, Ken. And again, if you want to go up and fish Clear Lake, don't be afraid to call Clear Lake Outdoors. Let them know you watched the report. Dave's up there, Nino's up there. They'll give you a good idea on what's happening up there, and if it's worth going up there, or maybe it's worth staying home for closer to home. And you can call Dave at 707-262-5852. We'll move on to Don Pedro. I didn't call Aaron up there because again we're letting everybody have a little break from talking to Mr. In Deep on the Delta. I'm sure they're sick of me calling him. Same thing up at Pedro. It's still running slow. Christian has been guiding up there. I know he's had some pretty good days. He's caught some nice fish. But also Christian reports the last few days that he's been up there, it's slowed down a little bit. You can call Aaron up at Modesto at Central Valley Bait and Tackle. His number is 209-312-9417. And again, don't be afraid to call. Aaron, Dave, Rob out at the Bass Hole. We talk to Rob all the time. These guys want your business, and they want to make customers. They'll give you good information. They expect you guys to come in, talk to them, maybe buy a few things every now and then, but don't be afraid to call them. That's what local shops are there for, and they're working really hard to get your business. And part of the local shops is getting to know the owners. So don't be afraid to call these guys. And also, next week, I'm going to try to get Christian Ostrander on. And Christian's going to talk about some of the things that he's doing with his guide service. He's going to be around the Central Delta all winter into next spring. He's doing some consulting. So if you guys have forward-facing sonar, Christian's really good with that. I'll throw his number up there. You can give him a call. He'll come out on your boat. You can go out on his boat, and he'll give you some instruction on forward-facing sonar. He's also going to be here on the Delta. As soon as it picks up, he's going to be out there fishing for largemouth bass. If it's not going here, he'll be up at Clear Lake, or he'll be down at Don Pedro. Let's get right into the Delta. And I think the big change in this past week is water temperatures dropping. I was getting, 54, 55, 56 degree temps. That's down about 5 degrees from last week. And I suspect that with, very little sun coming out, cold evenings, the water temperature is going to continue to drop, and that has really taken effect on the largemouth bass. The other thing, we've had some almost every morning fog out there, and there has been a few mornings it has been dangerous fog. So just be aware when you get out there, and I live right here on Bear Creek. It's a little foggy out here this morning, but I guarantee you if I was to go just 2 miles down the road and get out to Paradise Point, that fog really sets in. So you guys may leave your house, you get out to Paradise Point or wherever you're launching at and find fairly dense fog. Be careful, drive slow, and just be safe out there. With that, I can say that the sea lions have flooded in. I don't see a whole lot of salmon out there, so they've got to be coming in chasing the stripers. There has been a big increase in the number of stripers being caught in the last couple weeks. The water clarity has remained the same. The only difference that I see, we have about 3 to 5 feet of visibility in the central delta. It is starting to take on that brownish tint. You know, the last month or so, we'll call it that green delta kind of tint. It's starting to go from green to brown. It looks like winter out there. Stripers are still flooding into the system. I'm finding more stripers in my catch when I'm out there fishing for largemouth. It seems like when I fish for stripers, I have trouble catching them. I don't know how that works, but that's what it's been like for me. So if you're going out after stripers, it's definitely worth the trip. A lot of the bank anglers are starting to catch fish on bait. I've talked to several of them that have gone out and caught a fish or two off the bank, which is usually tough on the delta. So bank anglers, don't be afraid to go out there and throw some bait. Most of the folks that are fishing the central delta are finding their better numbers of fish out in deeper water. Fewer people are trolling, more people are drifting live bait, and there's been a lot of people out on the channel, the main channel, that are jigging and picking up fish in 18 to, I'll say 22, 25 feet of water. So I think the bigger schools, the numbers are out in a little deeper water. It seems like the bigger stripers are coming into the shallow water. The bigger stripers are being caught by the guys that are throwing plugs and topwater baits in the shallow water, but the numbers are coming a little bit deeper. So again, fewer people trolling, more people jigging, more people throwing plugs, and generally more people fishing. There are still a lot of panfish out there. A lot of the guys that are fishing panfish from the bank are doing very well, so you can still go out and catch bluegill and use them for live bait. So largemouth bass, I mean, they're starting to slow down. It's wintertime, 54, 55 degrees, especially the big females. They're starting to slow down. The pattern for largemouth bass on the delta right now is there is no pattern. It doesn't matter if you're fishing in 8 or 10 feet of water or you're fishing in 2 feet of water. It doesn't matter if you're throwing a worm, if you're throwing a crankbait, if you're throwing a, some type of plastic, if you're punching, whatever you're throwing, you have a chance to catch fish, but nothing is going to be very consistent. I was out at Paradise Point a couple days ago, and we had a board meeting out there. I'll call it a board meeting. It's all the local folks out there. Ed Lewis was out there. He's the mayor. And we, there's 3 or 4 of us that talk routinely. And all these guys go out weekly, most of them multiple times a week. And we all agreed that it's just, we can see the largemouth bass starting to decrease. Ed, I got a picture of Ed. He got lucky the next day, sent me this picture of a 3-pound plus fish. And that's kind of what it's been. I mean, for me, I've been fishing about 6-hour days. I'll catch 12 to 15 fish. I can usually pull 1 fish in that 3 to 4 pound class. Anything over that, boy, I haven't seen, other than I will say this, and I know you hear this all the time. I had a monster fish come up and swipe at a jerkbait, and I think that fish was probably close to 8 pounds. That was my big fun for the week. After that, it's just outside in deep water. I'm throwing jerkbaits, catching most of my smaller fish on jerkbaits. Every now and then, a good-sized fish will come up and grab a jerkbait. But my bread and butter has been pitching that bronco bug or a small jig into tule clumps. I'm especially concentrating on island points, the fish that I was catching on rocks and off of offshore vegetation where rocks were. That's kind of died for me. So I've been fishing tule islands, and I can say that maybe the one constant is stay away from the slack tide. The slack tide has been a killer for me and everyone that I talk to. You've got to get out there when the tide is moving. You've got a much better chance of catching fish. We all know that. But right now, boy, plan your day around not being out on the Delta during a slack tide. If you want bigger fish, as far as I'm concerned, stay around island points, pitch into 2 feet of water. Hold on. You're not going to get many bites, but when you do, it's going to be a pretty decent fish. If you want the numbers, head to the outside of the vegetation, throw a jerkbait, throw a chatterbait, throw a crankbait. You'll get numbers. You'll have some fish. The fog has been, if I haven't mentioned it already, very dense out there, so be careful. It generally hasn't really been rising till about 10 o'clock. There was one day, I think we were out and a couple days actually last week, that the fog didn't dissipate until almost noontime. So with that, go out. I want everybody to have fun. I want everybody to be safe. Enjoy your families. We'll have a full report next week. We'll get all the reports and we'll get back into seeing if we can't salvage something out of this these wintertime conditions. So thanks for watching. Have fun. We'll see you guys on the river.